Hi there everyone, yeah, I just want to do another video sort of about motivation, positivity and sort of things to look forward to, and if you're sort of in a lost position, because I've been in that position before. I've been in a position where I think, God, you know, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, I want to travel, I want a job, and I'm thinking some things aren't just going the right way for me. So I feel like my experience, I feel like people can learn from themselves and learn to better themselves, because obviously, you know, not too long ago I wasn't living very healthily. I was having kind of my diet wasn't amazing, although I've never really been fat. I've always had a good metabolism, but my diet wasn't amazing. And like I said, in lockdown stuff, I grew like this massive beard, and I started to realise and everything about veganism as well. I started to realise, wait a minute, there's an animal behind the food. You know, I never even contemplated the fact that, you know, say a chicken was an animal. I mean, it might seem a bit strange, you know. Of course, you know, John, I really didn't. I honestly had no idea a chicken was actually a living animal. You know, I never really contemplated it. So thankfully with lockdown, I sort of woke up and my diet's changed completely. I've been vegan since last year. So that's the thing, I've had some sort of awakening, and I've realised that the world doesn't evolve around me or my species. You know, the world doesn't evolve around, you know, the world shouldn't evolve around, I mean, it sort of does anyway. You know, we do dominate the planet, human beings, don't we? We can't deny the fact that we're all rebuilt with cars, buildings, technology. You know, we are really top in that sense. We can't deny that, but you know, it just doesn't mean we give us the right. You know, might doesn't equal right, so it doesn't give us the right. It shouldn't give us the right to exploit others. You know, the weakest of society, the most innocent. I mean, when has a chicken ever hurt anyone? So that's the thing. It sort of awoken me a little bit, and that's what I feel like people should do in their daily lives. They should really realise that perhaps what's happening. You know, what did happen with COVID, perhaps what's happening in Ukraine at the moment. People should realise wider perspective of things, and realise that the world doesn't evolve around them. The world evolves because there's 7.5 billion people living on the planet, and I mean, I've never even left the continent. So I've obviously left the country. I've never left the continent. I've never left Europe. Although technically, like, Tenerife is near Africa. Tenerife should be part of Africa, really, but for some reason it's part of Spain. So I haven't left the continent. But obviously, I'm going to travel the world at some point. But I really do feel people need to figure out the wider perspective of things, because it is important. You can't just sort of hide behind a rock and pretend things aren't happening when they are. You can't, you know, just because you can't see it with your eyes doesn't mean it's not happening. I mean, a lot of things I see, you know, cars everywhere. Cars pretty much dominate society. Most people drive, transport, you know, whatever. That dominates society. But obviously, when you go to, like, talking about, you know, abattoirs, whatever, you know, that obviously, that's all hidden away. It's all, you know, all these factory farms, they're all hidden away. You can't see them. So it's this kind of like things are hidden away and things aren't. So you've got to realise, put that into into your perspective. Really think what is hidden and what isn't. And not even in that sense, in more of a metaphorical sense. Think like, what is. Don't look at things straightforward and think that's it. That's all there is to see, because but life's got curveballs. Life has more to offer you, and it's more than just what you see with your naked eye. It's more deep than that, really. So I think people have got to look at things, like I said before, in the wider scheme of things, and realise that life just doesn't evolve around them. You know, there's other people on the planet, and I feel like we need to really open up that sort of consideration, moral consideration as well. Because at the moment, I don't know, the way I feel at the moment is quite. You'll have quite unique opinions, I think, and it's sort of coming across a lot. But I really do feel like we need to change as a society. I really do feel like people need to change, and we need to just generally sort of grow up as a species. Because once again, there's stuff like, you know, going on the train, everyone on their phone, or it's just a lot of cars on the road, or it's just, you know, there's a lot of things that I feel should be changed. You know, not enough traffic lights, not enough underpasses, perhaps, you know, monitoring bikes going through town centres and everything. They should have their own thing. I feel like a lot of things need to change, and I feel like I've got a lot of strong perspectives on things that are the same. And I feel like if I was part of like I don't know, some sort of council, I'll be able to like put forward these changes. I feel like I've got a lot of changes, positive changes. So it just depends. That's just me personally. But I think what I'm trying to say is, don't look at things head on. Look at things from a different angle is what I'm trying to basically say. I think I've said this before. I've said a lot of videos about motivation, positivity. I've got over 100 videos on my playlist, but I wanted to say it again, mainly because I've got nice hair at the moment. I feel like it looks sort of nice. I want to do another video, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Don't look at things straight off. Don't look at things head on. Look at things from a different perspective.